Welcome to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning for Tuesday, March 12th. I'm your host, Tom Orr. The Akron game in 172 days, the game against Michigan in 263 days. All right, today you're going to be hearing from Denzel Burke. You've probably heard Tony and I talk about how much we like talking to Denzel Burke. Probably my favorite interview among all of the current Ohio State football players, just because he will shoot you straight. If there is someone who is not necessarily playing to the level that is sort of the level of expectation, at least in Denzel Burke's mind, well, he's not going to tell you that everything is all sunshine and roses. He's going to shoot it straight. So that also means when he says, yeah, this guy is legit, this guy is the real deal, that means something too. So, all right, let's hear from Denzel Burke. He had the opportunity to leave for the NFL draft. It was probably going to be a first or second round pick last year, and he chose to come back. So, all right, Denzel Burke, why did you decide to come back? This is going to be two answers butted together.
Honestly, just make more money. I had a first, second round grade, but at the end of the day, I had no gold pants, no Big Ten, no Natty. So just being able to come back with my brothers, doing it for the state of Ohio, and trying to finish the job this year, man. That's the plan. It was definitely difficult, but I just prayed on it. Relied on my faith. And I feel like this was the best decision for me. Continue to develop into an elite corner. And, there's really no rush for me to go to the league. We got NIL now. So, we could not worry, not got to worry about too many things.
Next up, Denzel Burke sharing his thoughts on Caleb Downs. And, the hype around Caleb Downs has been pretty unceasing. And if you watched Caleb Downs at all last year at Alabama, you probably understand why. And as I said earlier, it is not always just going to be unending praise and admiration from Denzel Burke for everyone and everything. So again, when he says something, it means something. So here you go, Denzel Burke on Caleb Downs.
First day in the building. I mean, he already speaks for himself. His film speaks for himself. He already knows the whole defense. He's already out there with the ones with us. So he's that guy, and he's going to do a lot of big things for us.
Every player at the Ohio State has goals for the season, for themselves, for the team. But this is another area where a lot of guys will just say, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to kind of keep that to myself. Denzel Burke, he doesn't care. Call him a honey badger. He doesn't care. He's going to put it out there. So Denzel Burke, what are your goals for the season? Okay,
individual goals for me at least. I want to be able to be, recognized as the number one corner in the country. Number one corner taken off, in the 2025 draft. And, Jim Thorpe, I have a lot of big personal goals I want this year, and I'm striving daily to reach that and get 1% better every day. Team goals, I want to be able to continue to bring my leadership skills to the team, continue to push the young guys, because the young guys, they're always one injury away. And, just continue to bring the camaraderie together, continue to, work hard and, win it all.
All right. So what are some areas where Denzel Burke is looking to get better this year?
A lot of areas, continue to be a consistent tackler, continue to be better in the run support, continue to just, up my press game, my off game. There's always areas I can get better at, and I'm just striving to do that.
You heard Burke earlier talking about the different reasons that he decided to come back. What kind of impact did the presence of Ohio State cornerbacks coach Tim Walton have on that decision? Walton, of course, was a longtime NFL assistant, very, very highly respected both in the college and pro ranks. So what about Tim Walton? How did he play into Denzel Burke's decision to come back? Again, this is going to be two answers, but back to back.
Yeah, it was easy. A lot of talks with Coach Wall, especially at the end of the year, just, having a big picture. And, he's really helped me. He's really transformed my game on and off the field. And, I'm really happy to have him. I love him. Me and him have a great relationship, and, we have a lifelong relationship. I have a mentor. I guess you could say he kind of plays both those roles, mentor and coach off the field. And, it's a blessing to be able to have him in my life, to be able to, we could relate, teach me the game, teach me more than I already know. And, he's a big part of the reason why, we're BIA.
All right, here's another one where I'm going to remind you, you get the real unvarnished truth from Denzel Burke. So when he says something, it means something. He was asked about Germaine Matthews. Matthews stepped up last year as a true freshman, vaulted up the depth chart, passed a number of veterans on that depth chart, maybe chased a couple folks into the transfer portal in the process. So this is going to be two answers from Denzel Burke. The second question, one is just sort of his thoughts on Germaine Matthews, and the second one is whether Matthews reminds him of perhaps a young Denzel Burke.
Y'all watch out. He's a dog now. He's the next one up for sure, no doubt. And I'm really proud of him from the steps he's took. He's from Cincinnati. He's gonna claim that. But I love him, man. He's my boy, and I wish nothing but the best for him. And he's gonna continue to get better every day. I don't like to put myself in other people's shoes or have them be in my shoes. Or I really don't see anybody like me ever, and I don't think that would ever go through my mind. But I see what you're saying. He's Germaine Matthews, and he's going to be Germaine Matthews.
When Ohio State fans right now are looking at the defense and the number of people they got back from last year, the number of guys they added, what is that confidence level like in the defensive meeting rooms right now?
To add on to that, I don't want to put too much out there, but we're going to be having a lot of different looks this year, a lot of different positions, guys everywhere, and we're going to try to, we're going to dictate what the offense can do this year, and that's our goal. And I feel a lot comfortable with the guys I'm on the field with. You could take away a lot of things knowing that you got help inside or you got help over top, and just knowing those guys are always going to be in their spot makes the game a lot more faster.
The Buckeyes got a lot of players back from last year, which means there are going to be a lot of familiar faces in some familiar places, but there are going to be some familiar faces in new places. One of them is Sonny Styles. He moved from the safeties to the linebackers. What does Denzel Burke think of that move?
I feel like that was a great move. For him to be in the box, him running sideline to sideline, filling gaps. I feel like it's gonna be scary for offenses, especially for his size. He's about 230, probably run 4.3, 4.4, and it's gonna be fun.
With all of the talent, with all of the returning players, with all the new transfers, is this a no excuses year on the defense? And then also, does that mean there's a lot of pressure? This once again is gonna be two answers back to back.
Yeah, it's definitely natty or bust, man. That's our mentality. No excuses, man. We got to win it all. And that's what we've been trying to preach that every single day. And our goal is to go out there every Saturday, hold each other accountable, play hard, and make plays and turn the ball over. Diamonds are built under pressure, and we're not worried about a thing. We trust in our technique, we trust in ourselves, we trust in the team, we trust in our coaches. And we just look to have fun going this year, man, and just taking care of the no-talent issues.
Quite possibly the two most talented units on this Ohio State football team are the wide receivers and the corners. That's certainly the two areas where they have racked up the most five-star recruits over the years. So what has the battle been like between the wide receivers and the corners so far through two spring practices?
I guess you could say it's kind of still there. I feel like the receivers, they had a good day one. And, we came back second day, we had to put that down a little bit. But they're doing their thing. They got Cardinal, they got Meg, they got JB, JJ, Jeremiah Smith. Watch out for him. And I got no worries, man. That's zone 6, and they're going to do what they got to do.
Here's a chance to hear some of that trademark Denzel Burke honesty. Let's get his thoughts on the freshman cornerbacks, Aaron Scott, Miles Lockhart, and Bryce West.
Freshman corners, a lot of work to do. I've been trying my hardest to continue to teach them and lead them and making sure they have the right body language when they go on the field, making sure they're doing the job, running hard, playing hard. They got a lot of ways to go, and they haven't bought in yet.
While we were down at the Cotton Bowl at the end of last season, Burke was asked about his thoughts about true freshman wide receiver Jeremiah Smith. He was ranked as a 5-star, number 1 player in the class of 2024, so the hype was certainly there. And at the time, Burke said, I kind of want to see him in person. I want to go against him in person before I really kind of buy into all of that. 2 practices into the spring, here's his updated assessment.
This might be a big statement, but just the way he handles himself and the way he moves and the potential he has, I feel like he might be the next best receiver to come through here. And I'm really excited to see what he can do, and sky's the limit for him.
You hear players talk about leaving a legacy, and sometimes that can mean winning a championship or beating Michigan, but it can also mean leaving the position group room that you play in a better place than it was when you got there. So does Denzel Burke feel a responsibility to leave that cornerback room in a good place after this season when he heads off to the NFL?
Oh, yeah, because, once you BIA, you BIA forever. And once you're an alumni, the guys that are here that are representing BIA, it's a big deal. And I'm trying to prepare them for that moment. And because, this is Ohio State, the media is crazy. They love you one day, they don't the next day. But at the end of the day, you guys are still doing your job, but, it all comes with being at Ohio State.
Burke announced on his social media accounts that he would be part of the new EA Sports college football video game. So how excited is he for that? And what is he expecting his rating to be? Once again, this is going to be 2 answers back to back.
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited. I was the first one in the whole country, I think, to do it. But, yeah, I was quick to do it. It's crazy to have opportunity to be in NCAA. The last one was in 2014, so just to be able to be here and be in that situation is awesome. I feel like they should give me a 95. What y'all think? 95.
The Ohio State defense looked fantastic for most of last year, and then things kind of tailed off a little bit towards the end of the year. Not badly, but just enough that they didn't beat Michigan and didn't beat Missouri. So when they did those things had sort of tailed off a little bit, that sort of corresponded with the loss of Lathan Ransom at that bandit safety position. So how much does it mean to this defense to get Lathan Ransom back?
He's a big piece in our defense. Vet, me have a great relationship, and we have a great relationship on the field. We kind of already know what we're thinking before the even play happens. So just having him out there, just having him knowing he's going to be in the right position always, is awesome.
Denzel Burke is going to be at one of those outside corner positions this fall, and it sounds like Davison Igbinosun will be back at the other outside corner position this fall. So what does Burke see when he looks across the field and sees Davison Igbinosun?
Davison, he's that guy. He actually got Iron Buckeye this year. He's really been bringing the intensity every day, and he's probably the physical corner, the most physical corner we have right now, and he's continuing to get better in all aspects of his game, press, off, and everything. So I'm really excited for him, what he got to offer in year 3.
And finally, it's always interesting to ask players on one side of the ball about the guys they're going up against on the other side of the ball. You heard his thoughts on some of the wide receivers earlier. Here was a question about new transfer quarterback Will Howard, transfer from Kansas State. Again, we're only 2 practices in, but here's some more of that Denzel Burke trademark honesty.
I don't know. I guess, we only been 2 days of practice, so I guess, we still got a lot of more days to go. But, me, I'm going to just keep it real. I still, I want to see more, I know he has a high potential, and I'm excited for him, and 13 more practices, so we'll see.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed listening to Denzel Burke talk about football, the Buckeyes, his game, all that kind of stuff. I always really love talking to Denzel Burke because, again, what you're seeing, what you're getting, that is going to be what he really genuinely thinks. Great, always a great conversation. Pretty good football player too. So we'll have more conversations, more Ohio State players coming up a little later on this week. Have a few other shows coming for you as well as the Buckeyes take this week off for spring break before they come back for practice 3 starting next week. So we will have coverage of all of that for you at BuckeyeHuddle.com. Kevin, Tony, and I covering the team, Mark covering recruiting, our whole team of X's and O's gurus, making you a smarter football fan, all at BuckeyeHuddle.com. That'll do it for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.